Hello everyone, welcome to Tech and EduSparkHub, where technology meets education. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss a lesson. Are you someone who wants to learn Python but has zero coding experience? Well, you are in the right place because today I'm going to walk you through the very basics of Python in the simplest way possible. So don't worry if you have never written a lines of code before, because this series is designed to take you from zero to hero, step by steps. Now, before we write any code, we need to make sure Python is installed on our computer. So you head over to Google and type the keyword as shown on my screen. I will drop the link in this video description. So once you head over to the link and you click on it, it will take you to the official Python website as seen on my screen. So whether you are on Mac, Windows or Linux, make sure you are downloading the latest version of Python. So once you are here, you can hit on download, and once it is downloaded, you can run the file. So once you run it, we need to make sure that we add Python to path. So as shown, we need to add it to path because this is essential when we are writing our code. It will help us a lot. So we need to add Python to path before we install it. So once we click on install, it will start installing. And once it is installed, we can click on close as seen. So now that we have installed Python, we need to download our code editor, which is known as PyCharm. So this is where we'll be running our code. So you head over to your browser again and search for the keyword as shown on my screen. I'll drop the link for this on my description of this video so that it can be easily accessible. So once you click on it, you might see the community edition. You can download it or download this one that is right here. So I've downloaded it already, so you can just click on download, and once it is downloaded, you can run it. So once we install PyCharm, we click on it and run it. So when we run it, we should have something like this. So all we just need to do is to follow what's on my screen. So we follow that and so here we click on new project or new script, either one of the two. So you click on new project or new script. So once you click on it, it will run and you will have this. So hopefully you have already got everything set up and ready to go on the first task by seeing what I'm seeing here on my screen. And if you don't get it, you can go back to check to make sure you get everything all set up. So first thing first, let's create a new project. So to create a new project, you click on this and you click on new project and you create it. So once it is created, it will pop up like this once it is created. So you right click and click on new. So once you click on new, you click on Python file. So once you click on Python file, you can name it project 1. So you double click on Python file again. So once we create our project, this is what we'll be seeing right here on my screen. So remember that the whole reason why we are learning programming language is to be able to tell the computer what to do and what not to do, just for the computer to follow our instructions or commands. So let's go ahead and tell the computer to do something. So here first, we are going to start by writing our first lines of code, which is the print function. So all we need to do here is to type the word print in a lowercase, followed by a set of parentheses. So now inside that parentheses, I'm going to tell it what I want it to print out, and hopefully it is going to output that inside the console. So now I'm going to start by writing the classic word hello world inside a double quote. So I'm going to start by writing it now. So we can click on the run button here and see what is going to print out in our console. So once we click on the run and it prints it out, we can see that it writes process finished with exit code 0. This means that everything we typed was successful and there is no error. So that's the meaning of this process finished with exit code 0. It means everything was successful, no error. And you can see the tick sign here, which means our code is successful. So you might be wondering that why did we add the double quotes here, the double quotes before we type what we want the computer to print. So this is simply because we are telling the computer that what we want to print is not a code like the print function where it's supposed to do something. So we are telling the computer that this is just a test and not a code or a function like the print function. And these pieces of text is known as strings. So what are strings? Strings are like characters of words. So take for example, we have all these characters. So what the double quote do is to show us where it starts and where it ends. So we have to be really careful when we are typing. So if I go ahead and type without closing the double quotes, you can see that there are some changes that has happened to our codes already. Looking at the last bracket, which is supposed to be white as the first bracket, you can see that it has changed to green like what is in the string. And this is giving us an hint that something might have gone wrong with our code. So if we go ahead and run this code as it is right now, it is going to break and give us a syntax error. So if we run it, see, it is going to give us a syntax error. So how do we figure this out? One thing I want you to know is that all programmer makes mistakes. We are all prone to errors like forgetting to add the double quotes at the end of the strings or closing the bracket. These are things that are common errors because we are humans. But what differentiates a programmer is just that we are really good at detecting what the problem is and how to fix it. So in this case, when we get some sort of red text or our code is not doing what we expect it to do, just copy the error message it gives and take it to Google. So usually the first link you come across is TalkFlow, and this is basically the link all programmer will go to when something is wrong with their code or when they can't figure out the solution. So if we click on this link, we can see that somebody has also had this error before and some kind of source has told it that the solution might be the fact that you are missing a double quote before the end of the line. So if we take a look back at our code, we can see that the code that generated the error looks like this. So indeed, we are missing the double quotes at the end of the line. So to solve this, we just need to add double quote at the end of our strings and it will get solved. So you can see that everything is back to normal and the green tick indicates that our code is right, nothing is wrong. So as we are learning the codes, I want us to get familiar with the color of the codes because one of the most helpful thing code editor do for us is something called syntax highlighting. For example, when I was missing the double quotes, it highlights all my codes and that is basically telling us that it seems like the whole thing looks like a string, that we are missing the double quotes. So if you notice this and you were like something is not right, that the white bracket in the front must match the bracket that is at the back. So there must be something wrong indeed. And looking at the error message, we can see that we can see a caret sign that is pointing to the double quotes. So this way we can easily figure out our mistakes and find a solution to it. So we can see that everything has gone back to normal. And the easy thing about Python is that it actually underlines your error before you run your code. So take for example, when we are missing the double quotes, you can see that it has underlined it with some sets of red text, which means that it can easily tell us that we have actually commit an error before we run our code. So if we run this code now, you can see it is still going to bring out syntax error. But before we run the code, we can see that Python has already underlined it that we are missing something. So indeed, we can add the double quotes back before we run our code. So if we run our code now, we can see that everything will be back to normal. But if we don't know what we are doing, by seeking the assistance of artificial intelligence, okay, take for example now, when we are missing the double quotes and we go and seek the help of artificial intelligence without knowing what we are doing, we can decide to add the double quotes at the back. See, you can see that by doing this, we have created more problems for ourselves. But if we can figure things out on our own by knowing where our mistake lies, so we can put this back quote where it's supposed to be by putting it at the back of our strings. And doing this, we can see that the tick indicator is indicating that our code is error free and we can run it without any issue. So if we run it, it will output what we tell it to print and print it out in the console. So when we run it, you can see that it has printed it out by saying hello world. So process finish with exit code 0, which means our code was successfully output. So that's all about that. Now that we can tell the computer to print out the word we want, it is now time for a challenge, and we are going to test you on what you have learnt in this lesson by practicing some printout statements. So I will see you in the next lesson for the challenge. You have just learned one of the most important building blocks in Python, which is the print function. It may look simple, but it is your main way to communicate with your code, test ideas, and show results. In the next lesson, we'll be diving into variables and data types. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so you won't miss the next episode. This is Tech and EduSparkHub, where technology meets education. See you in the next class.